presentation of Fox Sports.
We are sports. We are Sun.
Today, the Rays take the field for the final time in 2017. Despite falling short of their ultimate goal, this team will leave us with many lasting memories. And a shot deep into left, and the Rays have a walk-off. Steven Susan Jr. Kiermaier on the run. He leaps. Oh, he makes the catch. Kiermaier caught it. The ground ball deep short. Great stop, Echeverria. Throw to first. Got him. Oh, my gosh. What a play by Echeverria. The 6-month journey we have shared ends today with the finale of Rays baseball on Fox Sports Sun. This afternoon, the Rays will draw the curtain on the 2017 season, and they ride into the final game of the 3-game winning streak. They've taken the first 2 games of this series from the Baltimore Orioles. Hi again, everyone, and welcome to an afternoon of Rays baseball with Brian Anderson, Dwayne Stats. Great to have you aboard. We'll hear from Alex Cordery throughout the day as well. Well, a lot of reminiscing on the final day of the season, but for our purposes, we're going to look ahead as the Rays will regroup. They know they have a core for next year, and it really starts up the middle.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you something. You really look at this team next year coming in, and you've got potential building blocks that you can go after and build a team around when you talk about up the middle offense and defense. Think about Wilson Ramos. Got a late start to the season, a slow start for him. Look what he's done for the last month and a half. This is since about mid-August. 343 average. The power has shown, runs batted in, and I'll tell you what, he continues to improve defensively behind the plate. Great block and throw right here, right on the money, and you can see Wilson Ramos, one of those guys with a full spring training and a full season. Be fun to see what he could do. How about this guy? Rays proactive. They go out, make a trade, bring in Adeiny Echeverria. Look at all 3 of these hits. Using the whole field, has swung the bat with more power and production with the Rays than he did elsewhere, and the defense is as good as you're going to get. That play right there never gets old. Strong arm, tremendous, smooth, athletic shortstop, continues to get the job done for the Rays. And how about Kevin Kiermaier? Since coming off the disabled list and going into the leadoff spot, he's going to be your leadoff hitter. Good average, good on-base percentage. He's stolen some bases. The power has gone up. He's scoring runs, all of the hallmarks of a tremendous leadoff hitter. And on top of that, continues to play platinum glove defense. That catch will never get old. The best I've ever seen. Strong, accurate arm to go with it. A complete ball player. You've got a chance to have a real fun middle of the team and see what they can do going forward.
Well, while we look ahead to 2018, we'll take some time this afternoon also to look back over the 2017 season. The finale is coming up. Rays baseball on Fox Sports Sun is brought to you by your local Ford dealer and by your local Toyota dealers. Let's go places. This afternoon at Tropicana Field, the Rays will wrap up this series, and this is the season finale. It will be Blake Snell on the hill for the Rays when we return. Rays will send the left-hander Blake Snell to the mound, making his 24th start. Young lefty against the Baltimore Orioles as the Rays try to finish off the season with a little winning streak. After their 4th consecutive win, we'll take a look at the starting lineup presented by your Southern Ford dealers. In Baltimore, we'll have Austin Hayes leading off, followed by Jonathan Scope, and then Manny Machado. Trey Mancini, the first baseman, will clean up. The DH is Mike Trumbo. J.J. Hardy hits 6th. He is the shortstop. Anthony Santander is in right field. Caleb Joseph does the catching, batting 8th for Baltimore. And Joey Rickard will be in left, batting 9th.
Well, and for Blake Snell, this is about a little bit of a bounce back. His last start against the New York Yankees, he went just 1 inning in that start, had 4 walks, and had to come out a little prematurely. However, the run that he was on before that, his previous 8 starts, he was 4-0 with a 2.57, averaging over 6 innings a start, and so he gets this opportunity to finish the 2017 campaign on a high note.
And here is Hayes starting the day, hitting .232. The first pitch from Snell is in there. That's a strike call. Bruce Dreckman calling the balls and strikes here today. Quickly up in the count. 0-2. He's getting a good look from the Baltimore Orioles here in the final month of the season. Distinguished himself in the minor leagues this year. The pitch bouncing in, the breaking ball, and it's 1-2.
Yeah, he was an A ball and I guess double A, was it? So he hit .328 and A ball, .330 in Double-A and getting an opportunity here to impress at the big league level, and obviously figures in their future plans.
A man out of Jacksonville University chops it to short. Robertson is there today, and he makes the play. Hayes is out number 1.
Let's take a look at the Rays defense and see how it's going to line up here this afternoon. Brought to you by Golden Diamond Source. And in the outfield, left to right, got Corey Dickerson, Malik Smith, and Steven Souza Jr. Across the infield, third to first, Evan Longoria, Daniel Robertson, Trevor Plouffe, and Logan Morrison. Kurt Casale gets the call behind the plate.
Now Jonathan Scope putting the finishing touches on what has been a very good year, as you see by those numbers. The season can get a little long, and it has, I think, for some of the Baltimore hitters. But Scope has put together overall an outstanding season. 105 runs batted in. That's a strike on the foul ball.
Yeah, first season that he's been able to do that, and we've been able to watch his progress. When Baltimore first brought him up a few seasons ago, and watch him get better and better in the field, at the plate, and this year really capping that off with a tremendous season. 30 plus, over 100 out of a second baseman. You know, like that.
Yeah, you get that out of the middle part of your infield. That is a big step up. Breaking ball. It's Snell an 0-2 count, and now pitch down and in. Taken the breaking ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
I'll tell you, Blake Snell, you put him in some 0-2 counts, and he has some weapons for you. Whether it be the slider, the curveball, another heater, a changeup. A lot of ways he can go.
And he goes up with the fastball and gets the swing and miss. First strikeout of the afternoon for Blake Snell. 2 up, 2 down.
Well, that's what you'd like to see out of Blake Snell coming into next season, is that first pitch strike percentage to go up. A big difference for him in on-base percentage between strike 1 or ball 1. And then on top of that, you get ahead of these guys. 0-2, 1-2, you're not going to be able to do it all the time, but when you do, he's got the stuff to be able to put you away.
Well, he's 4-7 this year. And his success really does hinge on that. And if he can do that, really the ceiling is very high for him.
It is. Listen, his first win was in August. It was August the 10th against, well, that was the start that he really took off on. He was actually going back down to the minor leagues. Alex Cobb comes up with turf toe. He ends up getting recalled, goes into the rotation, and he goes on that 8-start run where he was 4-0 with a 257.
Well, he takes care of Machado with that fastball. Got him to chase it. 1, 2, 3 go the Orioles. Corey Dickerson's going to lead it off when we go to the bottom of the first. Opening the bottom of the first for the Rays. Take a look at the rest of the lineup presented by your Southern Ford dealers. Dickerson to be followed by the DH Lucas Duda and Evan Longoria. Logan Morrison in the cleanup spot. followed by Steven Souza Jr. and Trevor Plouffe at second. Kurt Casale hits seventh. Malik Smith in center eighth, and Daniel Robertson at shortstop batting ninth.
Well, taking the mound this afternoon for the Baltimore Orioles is going to be right-hander Kevin Gausman, and his season about as up and down as these numbers. 11-11 on the record, ERA 4.81, 179 and 2/3 innings, which, by the way, ties the number of innings that he threw in 216. So if he's able to record an out, he will set a new career high in innings pitched.
Well, he faces Corey Dickerson, hitting 279 for the year. And he fouls the first pitch fastball right back, strike one. And for Gausman, when he's been good this year, he's been very, very good. And when he's been bad, he's been very, very bad.
I'm telling you, you look at his ERA and wins and losses. The team was 16-17 when he started a ball game. In his wins, the ERA 1.86 in 16 games, and the losses 8.65. And you can take it further. Look at his record, 11-11. He's had 11 games where he's given up 5 earned or more.
It's a soft little one-hopper out to the bag at second. Hardy hurrying to get that throw to first to get Dickerson.
Yeah, that's that J.J. Hardy at shortstop understanding the situation. Yeah, he's as solid as they get out there making plays and understands at times you're going to have to jump into a throw, which you don't often see him do. But that ball took a while to get to him, and he lays into it over there to Chris Davis. And don't trip over second base. That Ray's got a win this year because of was that the Rangers? A little trip over second base.
Odor, I think.
Yes.
Lucas Duda.
Anyway, to tie up the Gausman deal,
yes.
11 starts, he's given up 5 earned or more. He's also had 11. He's given up 1 or 0 earned runs. So he really is opposite ends of the spectrum.
Very, very good. Very, very bad.
Unfortunately, so far, he's been very, very good against the Rays.
Yes, he has. He gave up no runs, 2 hits in 7 innings in a start back in early July against the Rays. And then in late July, 6 shutout innings on 5 hits. There you go.
Oh, we even went back to 2016. Yep. We're getting a little aggressive there.
One ball, 2 strikes. Gausman, born in Colorado, went to LSU. Lives in Baton Rouge.
A Cajun, huh? Staying right there.
Yep, he's acclimated quite well. 2-2 the count.
Some gumbo. Must have loved the gumbo.
A great roux in that gumbo in Baton Rouge.
Boy, look at you.
2-2 the count. Love gumbo.
Do you?
Oh yeah.
I have to have it. It's gumbo's like sushi for me. I'll go a while, not even think about it, then come across, and then you want to get after it for a little bit.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden, 6 months later, you haven't touched gumbo.
There's a cut in the mids, and Duda is out on strikes, and that one bottomed out.
Boy, nice splitter there by the Orioles starter. Let's take a look at the Oriole defense here. Brought to you by our very good friends at Golden Diamond Source for the last time here in 2017. In the outfield, left to right, Trey Mancini, Austin Hayes, and Joey Rickard. Across the infield, third to first, Manny Machado, J.J. Hardy, Jonathan Scope, and Chris Davis. Caleb Joseph will get the call behind the plate.
And Evan Longoria bats with the bases empty and 2 gone. Evan strokes it into left center field for a base hit on the first pitch, and he is aboard. Not wasting any time right there.
That's all you can ask for in the last day of the season, Dwayne. Get up there and get after it.
Well, we've seen that already. A 1-2-3 first in the top half of the inning. And the Rays put Longoria aboard. First pitch swinging with that 2-out base hit.
You see that a lot. Guys get aggressive on the last day. Pitchers and hitters alike. just pound the zone, let it rip, see what happens.
Part of establishing their veteran credentials. This is Logan Morrison. He takes the pitch down, 1-2. Well, a big power year for Morrison. 38 home runs, tied for 5th in the American League. Second on the club in runs batted in, 1 behind Evan Longoria. This one is foul back, 1-1. And our Toyota inside look breaks it down, the largest increase in home runs, and you can see Logan Morrison last year 14, 38 this year, up by 24.
Yeah, he passed his previous season high in the middle of July, right around the All-Star break.
And a base hit into center field. That one stayed up a little bit, and he strokes it right back through the middle. So with 2 outs, a couple of base hits, the Rays have a first inning threat.
There's that splitter, not the same one that he was able to get Duda with. This one stays away and has a little bit more tailing action, but a nice job by Logan Morrison to be able to cover that plate and get that ball into the outfield for a base hit.
You know, that didn't have the dip on it that he would normally like, but that's still a pretty good piece of hitting by Morrison there, with given the change of speed. And that it's still a borderline pitch.
Yeah, I mean that's where that plate coverage comes in. It stayed up enough for him, and sometimes those splitters a little bit easier to recognize because it's a tumbling action, not the spin that you're used to seeing. Problem with that pitch is though, you see it, it's tumbling, you start your swing, and it just is, it's not there anymore.
1-0 to Steven Souza Jr. Strike, 1-1. Souza Jr., a guest star on our telecast last night, an impromptu appearance.
He even brought out the dry erase board.
Yep,
too.
He did. Showing a great presence.
I think I like the big beard better. I like Cobb's mustache. That's not going to last though.
Yeah, well, we know. Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, you know,
it's time to get rid of that.
Yeah, I mean, the chief has spoken there.
Yeah. By the time his head hits the pillow tonight, clean shaven.
Yeah,
guaranteed.
2-1 count here on Steven Souza Jr. And he chops it toward the hole left side. Machado, long throw to first, and a nice play right there to end the inning. The Rays with a couple base runners, 2 left. On to the second inning we go from the Trop. Rays and the Orioles are scoreless. TV every night, every device. Watch every out-of-market regular season game live. Plus, get a free subscription to At Bat Premium, the #1 app for live baseball. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv for details. Trey Mancini, the rookie up there. The first pitch is a strike. Mancini saw his 17-game hitting streak come to an end last night. He was 0 for 2 with a couple bases on balls. And down on the count 0-2.
Boy, that is not recognizing the spin on Blake Snell's curveball. That's how tight that he can spin it. No hump in it either. Oof.
And he makes quick work right there of Mancini. Doubled up on that. Mancini is the third strikeout. Third in a row for Snell.
This is what we're talking about. You pick your poison. You would let Blake Snell get ahead of you 0-2, 1-2. He can curveball you. He can slider you. If he wanted to change up, he could do that too. Having that many weapons to be able to put guys away shows you how important it is for Blake to pitch out in front and how dominant he can be if he's able to.
Well, he just misses a little low to Trumbo. He had 4 consecutive first pitch strikes. 12 of his first 14 pitches were strikes. Comes back with one on the corner there, and it's 1-1.
I like this quicker tempo too.
I think it's better all the way around.
Yep.
It's better for the pitcher that way. I guess there's some debate on that, but boy, you see some of the really great pitchers just take charge and command the pace of the game.
And that's what you can do. You know what the game plan is. You know what your pitchers are doing. You know from one pitch to the next exactly how you want to set a guy up and put him away.
Lifted right down the middle to center field. Malik Smith. He goes back and makes the catch. Trumbo is out.
The guys out in the field love it too.
Yep. Yes, they do.
They love a guy that works quick, keeps them in the rhythm of the game, on the balls of their feet, ready to make a play. That's something that Blake really started during that really good run that he had in August. You know, even a few starts before that, before the results came, you started to see him pick up the pace. And boys, it paid off. That and command has gotten better too for the most part.
Chris Davis up here, and he fouls it back. 0-2.
Oh, there you go. And that last 9, the loss and the ERA, really skews because of that one bad start he had last time out against New York. But outside of that, he has been so consistent, and that's why when that start happened, I know we were both talking. I hope this kid gets another shot to go off into the offseason with positive vibes and, a job well done the last couple of months. There you go.
Yep, that takes care of Hardy. I'm sorry, Davis. And so we'll go to the bottom of the second inning. No score. Wrapping it up against the Orioles. A big thank you to all fans for supporting the Rays this season, and a special thank you to Rays season ticket holders. For information on how you can become a 2018 Rays season ticket holder, call 888-FAN-RAYS or visit RaysBaseball.com. Robert Plouffe leads off. The pitch is a strike on the outside part of the plate. Plouffe, Casale, and Smith due up against Gossman. Rays had a couple base runners in the first, left them aboard. 2-out singles by Longoria and Morrison. Oh, 2-2. The right side, that's out of play. Pitch down there, not one of Bruce Druckmann's favorite pitches to call a strike. There have been a couple borderline down there, and those have been balls. Broken bat and a roller down to third. Machado takes care of that.
We've seen that more and more, really, as the season has gone on, that the low strike, and there's been that talk, are they going to raise the strike zone, take that pitch away? It's almost like you've had some guys in training, because consistently balls right down there at the bottom of the zone have not been called by certain guys, and those are pitches that, boy, Gausman, Snell, anybody out there would love to have those pitches called. Certainly helps you on the top end of things.
Kurt Casale, and there's a strike right there on that outside corner. Interesting. I think what we've seen in the book on, I think even Druckmann, is that he might give you that pitch that just barely gets the corner, and sometimes will go up with the strike call. So maybe what will come of that is that the strike zone might just adjust upward if they stop calling that low strike.
Well, I'll tell you what, the guys that have the spin rate and are able to pitch up at the top of the zone, it's going to make it even easier on those guys. Because if you can consistently get it up there, we've already seen hitters having a hard time getting up there and getting on top of that pitch. Now if they decide, okay, you know what, my approach is I can't get to that pitch, I'm going to take it, and now it's a called strike? Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
You think strikeouts are up now?
Oh, man.
Just wait.
Well, they got to keep setting that record. They've done it 10 years in a row.
Yeah, we've got home runs, more home runs every year, more strikeouts every year. Mallex Smith takes that pitch for a ball.
Well, it'll be an interesting offseason for a lot of different reasons.
1-1. Well, all of that factors into how you're trying to build a team, number one. And, of course, the Rays, we're going to be talking with Kevin Cash later on. This pitch is foul back, 1-2. You know, and how they interpret the strike zone is a big part of how you go about executing this game.
You go out and sign Lumberjacks, Dwayne. You're going to raise the strike zone. I want Lumberjacks and Vikings.
Tapper foul.
So you look into Evan Gattis.
Yeah.
He already qualifies.
Yeah. But it'd be nice if you got, you know, a few guys who might not necessarily be Lumberjacks who could get on base in front of the Lumberjacks.
Well,
now that would be an idea.
Guys like this
Mallex
guy right
Smith,
here.
Yeah.
Right. Guys with speed, threat of speed.
Did he go? He is out on strikes. So Malik Smith tried to check. So 1, 2, 3 go the Rays. We'll be chatting with Kevin Cash when we return. The field onto the third we go. Rays and the Orioles scoreless. J.J. Hardy about to step in to open the third, and we're happy to have the Rays manager Kevin Cash join us here.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Kevin, very well. How about you?
It's going all right. We've played well the last 2 ball games, and want to finish up strong obviously today. And it looks like Blake's got a pretty dominant stuff to this point.
Well, I'm sure you would love to see him finish this season, finish this game and the season the way he started this game, because that would be a big lift going toward next year.
Yeah, it really would. I mean, look, I think Blake, we've talked about it quite a bit, how he's kind of turned around his season after 2.5 months of some early struggles. Give him a lot of credit for kind of putting his nose down on the ground and figuring it out. He's become a better pitcher, a better listener, a better worker, and it's paid dividends with him when he gets the ball every 5th day.
Well, there's another strikeout, 5 for him. It certainly seems as if he's setting his own pace here, which I think the two of us, BA and I've talked about that up here, we kind of like that in a pitcher.
No, we want all of our pitchers to get the ball, set the pace, and kind of find that rhythm and routine. More times than not, when they don't have that rhythm, that's when you see the longer counts and the high pitch counts. But right now, what Blake's doing is just attacking, and you know what? We're excited about him and a lot of the other young guys that have shown up this year. Jake Faria is right in that mix. I know we've had some guys battle some injuries, but there's some sunshine on the horizon with some young pitchers that are here now and that will be here soon.
Hey Kevin, speaking of that, what have you seen from this 2017 squad that gives you optimism going into 2018?
Well, probably just that, the young pitchers for sure. That provides a lot of optimism. You guys know as well as anybody that if you're going to do something special, you got to have the pitching to complement that. They're a big part of it, and we feel that we have that. Some guys don't have the track record quite yet. They're probably going to get some opportunities at some point next season, but we've got a foundation of pitching. We've gotten some guys I'm looking at on the field. I mean, Daniel Robertson to be able to get the at-bats he got as a 23-year-old. Steven Souza, how he's come on and matured this season. Corey Dickerson has done some good things at the plate. There's a lot to like. We just got to find a way to stay a little bit more consistent moving forward, and that's on me.
You talk about some of those hitters, Souza with 30 home runs and so forth, but when you look at this club, a lot of home runs. I'm sure you'd like for that on-base percentage to be a little better. so that those guys, the big boppers, might have a runner or two on base when they hit one out.
Yeah, there's no doubt. We're going to assess at the end of the season, take some time and think about what we can improve, what went wrong throughout the year. And I know that's been talked about here as of late, and it should be. We hit a bunch of homers, but that doesn't always amount to the amount of runs you need to compete in this division. And to find those complementing pieces of on-base guys would be nice. Saying that, one guy was Matt Duffy, that unfortunately his season was derailed because of injuries, could just never get it straight, but we like where he is right now as instructionally for us and playing, so that's a great sign. But he's that type of guy, the guy that moves the ball, puts the ball in play, and has a knack for getting on base. We know we've got to find guys in-house and maybe look outside to complement some of these home run hitters.
Well, and I also think too, Kevin, what about an entire season with Kevin Kiermaier? I'm sure that he has cemented himself into that leadoff role, and think about what he can give you going forward from there.
Yeah, KK's been tremendous for us since he's come back from the injury. It's unfortunate that he's had these two injuries derail his season, but if you look at what he's done his last 2 years, he's continuing to improve, mature as a hitter. We got a very special player with KK.
Well, Kevin, the upside of this quick pace is that Snell has retired 9 in a row. The downside is that this is the end of the interview.
Well, guys, before I get it out, I want to thank you guys. We appreciate everything and the support of our viewers and the people that come out. We're very grateful for our fans.
Well, the same way right here. We're grateful for the job you've done and the man that you are, and we'll look forward to success in the future.
Thanks, Dwayne. Thanks, BA.
Thank you.
Third inning, Daniel Robertson leads off against Kevin Gausman. And the first pitch is a strike. And Blake Snell had retired 9 in a row with 6 strikeouts along the way. He's had a couple base runners in the first off Gausman, left them, and then he had a 1-2-3 second. 1-1 to count on Daniel Robertson. Robertson in there at shortstop. Talked about him the other night, playing short, second and third. He figures to see a little time maybe in the outfield as well, taking advantage of his versatility and athleticism. And I think that's one thing the Rays will look to do as well, that they've had all these home runs. A little chopper down to third. Machado makes the play. So that is the first out. Let's check in with Alex right here.
Good afternoon, Dwayne and BA. Well, as the Rays put a bow on their season, today they are celebrating first responders. We are extremely grateful for all the work that they do to keep us safe and for their courage. Before today's game, first responders were recognized on the field for a very special pregame ceremony. Dwayne.
All right, Alex, thank you. Well, a big part of any community, sometimes overlooked, and not today. Corey Dickerson. Pitch is a strike. One ball, one strike, the count on Dickerson. That soft little up liner handled by Hardy at short his first time up. It's 2-1. Back into the screen, 2-2. Both these young pitchers, Gossman and Snell, setting a quick pace.
Yeah, attacking the strike zone. Both of them showing very good fastballs, good life, good velocity. Secondary pitches have been sharp for the most part.
Foul right back.
I think that's what's so perplexing about Gossman. I mean, this guy, and the Rays have seen it. We saw the graphic of his last 3 starts against him. He's been absolutely dominant. So we've been able to see it. But then all of a sudden you look at some of the numbers from other starts and you're like, what is going on here?
Yeah, and he's a big part of this Oriole ball club. They need him to step up and be the central guy in this rotation. They really have not had strong arms in their rotation. And he's the exception.
Yeah,
you saw the spread there, 80-97.
Yep. I mean, think about the last few years. You know, Chris Tillman's not overpowering. Dylan Bundy is more of not a finesse guy, but he's not an overpowering right-hander. Yep. They've had Wei-Yin Chen when he was here, Miguel Gonzalez. All these guys were finesse, have to move the ball around the zone. Not a lot of strikeouts. They haven't had that power starter. I think that's why you see Miguel Castro may get an opportunity. He got the start last night. Even Ubaldo Jimenez not a power guy. And the way that this game has gone with power arms, the Orioles have had a shortage, at least in the rotation.
Up the middle and a base hit into center for Dickerson. The Rays get a base runner, 1 on 1 out in the 3rd. And you know, the other thing, we talked earlier about Gossman and how it's everything or nothing with him. He's either lights out or everybody's ducking. It's unbelievable. And when you look at him, think about his home ballpark. Tough to pitch in that ballpark, but his earned run average about a half a run better at home than on the road. On the road, it's over 5.
Yeah.
And that's perplexing to the Orioles.
Yeah, well, here's the thing, and we talked about this a little bit before the game. Coming into this start, he had exactly the same number of innings pitched that he had a year ago. He's given up the same number of home runs. 28 last year, 28 this year. He has hit the same number of guys. 5 guys last year, 5 guys this year. The difference has been 24 more walks this year and 19 more hits. So in the same number of innings coming in, that's an extra 43 base runners.
Yeah.
And that's where the problem lies.
71 walks to 47 a year ago.
Yep.
So it's commanding your stuff, control and command. Combination of those two, maybe.
How often do we talk? Limit base runners, you limit opportunities, and that's not been the case. 43 extra, same number of innings, and that's why the ERA is up a full run from a year ago. It was 361 last year and 481, you know, coming in this year. So
Yeah, and with that better ERA a year ago, he was 9-12. He's 11-11 this year.
Yeah.
So, interesting how all those numbers add up, and sometimes they don't seem to add up. High pop, and finally comes down with Machado making the catch. 2 gone with Dickerson at first, and Evan Longoria coming to the plate. Today's jackpot brought to you by the Florida Lottery. We go back to the 10th of June when Longoria delivered the walk-off victory. He had a base hit his first time. Tap foul right there. Evan came into this game with a double and a home run in his career against Gossman. Single off him in the first was to left center. Ball right side, Scope gloves it, and the throw to first. Wow. Just got him, and boy, that took a long time to develop. And Longoria, hustling down the line, made it a play. And the Rays are going to take a moment to see what their internal video has to say about that play.
Boy, Jonathan Scope taking his good old time. He got to that ball in plenty of time. Interior of the gloves, what you're looking for. Boy, I'll tell you, that might be worth a look.
And Kevin Cass says, well, go ahead. They're not going to look at it. Very close at first base. The Rays leave one.
Another veteran move.
No score. Well, the deeper coverage of baseball presented by T-Mobile, and you look at the offensive leaders in the 3 primary departments. Jose Altuve leading the league at 347. Aaron Judge 52 home runs, and Nelson Cruz 119 runs batted in. Hayes a big cut and a miss out in front of that first pitch here, and Snell, including this pitch, he's made 27 pitches that were strikes, 6 out of the zone, and now there's one, so it's 1-1. How about that? I mean, that strike to ball ratio outstanding today, really over the top for Blake Snell or any pitcher for that matter.
Yeah, focused and pounding the zone. And, you know, it's almost like he's challenged himself. Jim Hickey has challenged him and said, listen, with your stuff, go out there and just fill the zone. See what happens. You know, just go out there and attack like you've never attacked before. Whether or not that's the case, who knows, but that's certainly how he's pitching. And by the way, I was getting ready to circle again. I mean, the graphic, the quick trigger fingers on the graphics.
Everything's quick pace.
Yeah. Everybody wants to get out of here. Still got to get, you know, through 9 innings. But here's the deal. On that graphic with the individual leaders, kind of surprised that with all of the home runs, only 119 runs batted in leads the way. Seems low to me. Like it should be. You know, right next to that you had 52 homers.
Yeah.
And it's not even that guy who leads in runs batted in.
Yeah, Cruz has 39 home runs with 119 runs batted.
That's a tremendous season. But I would think that someone could have snuck into the 120s up to now, and maybe he will.
Yeah. You know, the other interesting thing about that, Altuve, big lead in average, 347. He's had 59 multi-hit games. All of that makes sense. So you'd think the next guy with almost as many multi-hit games, Jose Abreu, has 58 multi-hit games. He's 6th in the league in hitting only 305. I say only, he's hitting over 300. Ground ball headed to short, and right there is Robertson making a nice play. Takes care of the Baltimore outfielder. Altuve hitting 347 with 59 multi-hit games. Abreu hitting 305 with 58 multi-hit games. I mean, that tells me that Abreu's getting a bunch of 3-hit games and Abreu some 2-hit games.
Yeah, well, and Abreu, or excuse me, Altuve more consistent. You know, maybe some more offers, and then all of a sudden you get back-to-back 2-hit games and then a few offers. Yeah, something amiss there, because to have that many multi-hit games and only be one off, but yet 40-some points off in the average.
And that makes the MVP situation interesting.
Yeah.
You know, when you look at batting average, one guy, different guy home runs, different guy RBIs. Scope fouls it away. Altuve, the only hitter with over 200 hits. But how about this? So we talked about Abreu hitting 304 in all those multi-hit games. He leads the league. He has more total bases than Judge. Abreu has 343 total bases. Aaron Judge 340. I mean, figure all that out.
No, thank you. You figure it out.
Wow. Well, we have the entire offseason to come up with a theory. This one is low, and it's 2-2.
Yeah, my homework for the season is officially done.
That's it.
I mean, the fact that I brought out a highlighter today. I mean, really.
I was impressed by that.
Got up this morning.
You're finishing the season.
I know.
You're with us right to the very end.
You only know one way, right?
Yeah.
The first time
the right way.
You think about mailing it in, you're like, you can't mail it in, man.
You can't do it.
Can't call the cops on it, man.
Scope is out with Morrison getting the put out on that one, the peg from Casale. Yeah, you can't do it.
No.
I mean, you know, you prepare every day.
It is funny.
It's the process, by the way.
Well, that's it. That's exactly what I was going to hit on. And you're absolutely right. The process and the routine.
Yeah.
This game will do it to you. And I'm sure a lot of people have their routine, but this game, it's pretty remarkable.
Yeah, there's no question about that.
It gets weird sometimes.
Machado fouls it straight back, and did that get into the
that got Dave and
radio
Amy.
booth?
Yes, it did.
I think it bounced off the one and hit the other one. Everybody okay?
Uh-oh, Ed. McCabe.
You got McCabe?
Larry McCabe has the ball. Sneaking around, listening to football games. That's bootleg.
Oh, now he's making everyone applaud him. Look at that.
Yeah, when he gets back to the office, we'll get that shot of him.
This ball in the dirt, a swing and a miss, and Machado is going to be out. He'll be tagged, the formality by Casale. 2 strikeouts in this inning. No score through 3.5. Half of the 4th inning. Well, we had a little homework session here, BA, and here's part of it. You know, it's the process.
Yep.
And you see the Rays franchise record in home runs, but there are some other categories to counterbalance that.
Well, it tells the story. It really tells the story. You follow it down. Okay, 227 home runs, franchise record. That's really good. Okay, 1528 in the strikeouts, most in the American League, also a franchise record, not so good. But then you look average with runners in scoring position, the lowest in the American League at 226. Okay, well, how many opportunities do they give themselves? Well, only the Orioles give themselves fewer opportunities. They're 14th in the American League in at-bats with runners in scoring position. And what does that lead to? It leads to 688 runs, which is the fewest in the American League. That right there speaks to approach. And I think that you're going to see it change, at least in maybe some different guys in the lineup going forward in 2018, because that approach, it led you to all the home runs, but situational hitting took a nosedive, and you ended up with the fewest runs in the league.
Yeah, you set a club record in home runs, but you scored the fewest runs in the league, and that's why in our conversation with Kevin Casters, it'd be nice to have a man or two on base when those guys hit the home runs.
Yeah. Well, you want to. We talked last night in the game about two-strike approach. You want some numbers on that? The Rays had the worst batting average in the American League with 2 strikes.
Yeah, and it was not abysmal. A pretty number.
No,
like 150 something.
Yeah, yeah, it was the worst in the league. Yeah. I mean, again, you can listen. There's just some things that you feel are going to be addressed in the offseason, as well they should. And there's plenty of room, for improvement. Plenty of guys that can do some different things and are capable of more. And I think the guys themselves would tell you that.
Steven Souza Jr. Ground ball by the mound, but Scope is there, and he makes the throw to first. And Souza Jr. hustling his way down the line is out at first.
Yeah, ease up at first base, big man. That's the second one. He had a lunge into first base in his first at bat. And boy, you just don't want to see anything go wrong there. Twist an ankle. Those bags can be unforgiving from time to time, but Souza Jr., another one of those guys that knows how to play the game one way. And he is reaching.
So 2 gone in the 4th. Trevor Plouffe swings and misses. Strike 1. Plouffe's one of those guys coming in who'd had some success against Gossman, 4 of 9 with 2 doubles and a home run off him. He can square one up maybe. 1-1 to count. Will be interesting with given those numbers, you know, and the Rays go right to work on that. The offseason begins now. Really.
I was going to say they're working on them as we speak.
Yeah, absolutely. It'd be interesting. It would be really interesting to be in that room. Now they're not going to let us because we'd be a distraction as we sometimes are. But you know, we go to our own little rooms individually. But it would be very interesting to see what comes out of those discussions. And right there, we had a shot of them.
Yeah.
And those discussions are ongoing right now.
That was the top on down.
Yes.
Those are the heavy hitters.
That's
right there.
Foul straight back. That's out of play. Holds the count at 2-2. Tonight's Cold Hard Facts brought to you by Clean Crisp Coors Light. Just to reiterate, the franchise record set in home runs this year, 227, and that's been a steady climb upward, 216 a year ago. 3-2, and that's really the trend in baseball. Strikeouts, more strikeouts every year, more home runs every year. Another full count pitch to be made. And this one's skied toward right center. Rickard, the right fielder, makes the catch on that one, and the Rays are up and down. In order, we head into the 5th inning. No score. Through 4, a look at next year and the 2018 schedule. Opening day will be right here at Tropicana Field, March 29th. They'll be opening a 4-game series against the Boston Red Sox, and then out on the road immediately. The home interleague series against Washington, Atlanta, the usual intrastate matchup, and then the Phillies. And the first 4 trips for the Rays, all 4-city trips. So they'll spend essentially the first 2 months of the season the road trips will all be long road trips.
Yeah, they're and some interesting city combos in those road trips. We're gonna, you talk about renting the RV and taking a drive. That's what we ought to do.
Well, here you go. The first road trips to New York against the Yankees,
Okay.
and then Boston, and then Chicago.
Oh, perfect. You bring your gloves, your winter coat.
That's exactly right.
And be prepared to be delayed and cold.
Yeah.
It's okay.
And then you never know. They come home, play the Phillies and the Rangers in Minnesota, and then the Rays go to Baltimore, Boston, and Detroit. So we're still going to pack the warm clothing.
Yeah, my favorite two parts of the schedule, the opening week of the season, 2 off days, because that's when you need them.
Yep.
And I love the fact that we make our first trip to Toronto, a divisional opponent, mind you, in August.
There's a base hit the other way for Mancini. And so the Orioles pick up their first hit. Blake Snell had retired 12 in a row until Mancini, who had his 17-game hitting streak come to an end last night, has a base hit to open the 5th inning today. Here's the other interesting thing when it comes to days off. You know, you mentioned the Rays will play the Yankees home opener on April 2nd. And then to protect that, they'll have a day off in New York on the 3rd and then play the 4th. Then go to Boston on the 5th, the Thursday, their home opener. And then Friday will be a day off to protect that home opener. And then they'll play the Red Sox Saturday and Sunday.
There really is no worse idea in a schedule than to have a scheduled Friday day off with you and I free. that right there is not a good idea.
No.
For anybody. We should go in and do a practice game or call somebody else's game from afar.
Or just hope for the best.
Well, we could do that too.
Yeah. Strike the count on Trumbo. This was down and in, 1-1. But here's the other thing when it comes to days off. In May, they end that road trip. We mentioned Rays go to Baltimore, Boston, and Detroit. Day off. Then 3 against Toronto, day off. Then 2 against Atlanta, day off. And then they start another long road trip, Baltimore, Kansas City, and then to Anaheim. Isolate Anaheim out there. Then they come home to play Boston and Baltimore, and then right back to Oakland and Seattle, and then Washington. How about that? Who made this? Somebody.
Listen,
somebody with the Rays made the schedule maker angry.
Would you tell that story again? I just love the way you told that story. And all the way up. Like, just do it one more time.
You'll hear that when we're living it. Ball in the dirt, down to second. The throw, and it's not in time. Mancini moves up on that ball thrown into the dirt, a breaking ball. And now the Orioles have a man in scoring position.
Well, here's the curveball. That's been a good pitch for Blake all day, and a nice job by Casale. That ball bounced in front of the plate. Now you got to scramble after it. He did the best job that he could, and that throw just not able to get there in time because Mancini actually had a good read of that breaking ball in the dirt, anticipation, and he was able to get to second. Well, they will be challenged. There's no question about it by that schedule.
The schedule maker thought that Washington was close to Seattle because Seattle's in Washington. But in fact, the Rays are going to play in Seattle, Washington, and then go all the way across the continent.
You know what? On that
Baltimore,
the Baltimore KC Anaheim trip.
Yep.
Maybe we take that following homestand off, and you and I hit Baltimore in the family truckster, and we just go do it. We go right across the country. We head up north, come all the way back. We take off those games, the homestand.
Yeah, why not? Trumbo is out on strikes here. How about that? 9 strikeouts for Snell through 4 1/3 innings.
And he's put on a show here this afternoon. I mean, really, attacking the strike zone. The fastball, the curveball have been the 2 biggies, and they have been great.
So 9 strikeouts equaling a season high. Chris Davis swings and misses. Davis called out on strikes his first time. Snell struck out 6 of the first 8 hitters he faced today. It's 1-1. Snell's strike to ball ratio right now is 3-1. 45-15.
At the Browns score? No, they didn't score 15. No way.
Yeah, I knew where you were going with that.
No way. You roused me right out of my slumber. I'm like, whoa, that was the final?
2-1. Yeah, enough for the schedule next year.
We'll tackle that next year.
Yeah, we'll rest up for it. Three and 1 the count. When it comes, we'll be happy to travel.
You know,
I'll be ready for it.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, like you always say, this sure beats working.
Sure does.
You know, to be a part of this outstanding, great game at the highest level.
Swing and a miss. The count is full. 3-2. How about that? Now, it truly is what we all dreamed about.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It really is.
I remember with the dreams of getting to the big leagues, I had about a 2-week, maybe a month-long span that I didn't think it was possible.
Swing and a miss, and Davis out on strikes. That's strikeout number 10.
He just
Second out here in the 5th.
Just climbs the ladder. That's it. Falls behind and able to just come back and overpower Chris Davis and pick up that big second out. You know, when I was growing up, that's all I wanted to do.
Yep.
Big league baseball. From the time I could even knew what Major League Baseball was. And the only time that I ever doubted for a second that I could do it was, you know, when we were growing up and playing, you didn't have these intermediary leagues. You know, you went from Little League playing on 60-foot baselines to your next league, you're playing on the big field.
Yep.
And the first couple weeks of that season, going from 60 feet baselines to 90, from 40 whatever it is to 60 feet 6 inches, I thought, this field's pretty big. I don't know if I'm cut out for this because I'm not that big.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, you know, you get used to that field and
then you actually do grow a little bit.
You do.
Yeah.
And you go, okay, yeah, no, I'm going back to the big
I can do
leagues.
this.
I can do this.
Yeah, I know. Big field is a big change.
Oh, the immediate fear of the hard base hit to right field, you getting thrown out at first base, comes right into mind.
Yep. Wave and a miss. 1 and 2. And some youngsters making that transition right now.
I know. I saw that.
Yeah.
I saw, and looked good too. From what
wood,
I saw on the video.
Just missed hitting 1 out by a couple feet today. Would have been his first ever. Down the line.
Well, who cares? On the big field.
Yeah.
Well, he's a leverage guy.
Yeah.
Tall, lanky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. This one is down. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Mancini on second base. And to right field. Souza Jr. is there. A base hit and the man left on. Through 4.5, Rays and the Orioles are scoreless. 10 strikeouts from Blake Snell today. A career high. Going into the Rays half of the 5th inning this afternoon at Tropicana Field. Wrap-up game of the series and the regular season here. Stay tuned. In the 7th inning, the Jeep Compass game break will feature Rich, Arestas, and Doug, and I'll have highlights from around Major League Baseball. Kurt Casale tries to check. That's a strike. Rays facing Kevin Gossman today. Big right-hander, 11 and 11 on the year. It's 1-1. One. Well, Rays with a couple base runners in the first. They left men at first and second. And Dickerson aboard at first with 1 out in the 3rd. Left him. Sally's ahead in the count, 3-1. And the only base runner was that leadoff single in the 5th for Baltimore. Mancini was wild pitch to second. They left him there. There's a long one, high and deep to left. Mancini back, he'll look up, and Casale has hit it out. Kurt Casale connects on a 3-1 pitch. Now Kurt Casale hits his first home run for the Rays. That gives him 4 for 10 in his career against Gossman with a double and now a home run.
That ball did not get to the area that Gossman wanted it, and it ends up middle in, and Kurt Casale in a hitter's count is going to turn it loose, and boy did he blister that baseball. Well, we know he's got power. We've seen plenty of it, and that ball gives the Rays the lead.
With the split, and Malik Smith swings over it for a strike, so the Rays get a run here to grab a 1-0 lead. A ball, 2 strikes. The chopper headed to the middle, through into center, a base hit. The Rays put some speed at first. In the aftermath of the home run by Casale, Malik Smith chops a base hit up the middle.
Just slaps it, and once he gets that over the head of Gossman, it's going to sneak its way into center field. The Rays now with that speed aboard. Bottom of the order here getting it done for the Rays on what's been a quiet day. Uh-oh.
Hey, what do we have going on here?
Role reversal.
Yes.
Yeah, but see, the goatee gives it away. Not to mention the name on the back of the jersey, but the tattoos, but socks.
This pitch is a strike to Robertson. He had the 3-point stance going.
Yeah, he does. Head on a swivel. Smart guy. He's a lot of fun.
Yes, he is.
High energy.
He's been good out of the bullpen, too.
Oh, boy. And has really enjoyed his time here. He's one of those guys that, as you look to the offseason and what the Rays are going to do next year, you wonder if Sergio Romo's one of the guys they bring back. I know he'd like to come back. And he's been good for him, that's for sure.
Oh, 2.
So does this mean that he's not going to get in today's game?
Well, here's I don't know that it makes any difference. Do you?
Well, no. I think he would.
I mean, he'd be ready to go.
Yeah,
he didn't
would.
pitch last night.
Some good work right there on the goat.
Ground ball left side, glove by Machado out at second. Scopes though to first. Robertson out there on the 5-4-3 double play. Alex Smith erased over at first. Corey Dickerson. I don't know, Dickerson with a base hit today. And a liner into center, and he has his second hit of the day. Second time he's gone into center, this one on a line. The Rays with 3 hits in the inning.
It's good technique.
Look at that.
Yep, and knows the role already, you know?
So I gotta grab another one? Okay.
There's a certain art form to it.
He sells it. Strike to Duda. Rays with a run, 6 hits.
Here's the problem. He's on the active roster. So you could see him attempting to sneak an at-bat at some point. Keep him down there long enough. Put himself in.
Yeah. Take a bat, walk to the plate, report to the umpire. Try to make it official.
Yeah. I mean, you have to lose that goofy helmet, but other than that, he could do it.
Goes the runner, and that is strike 3 called on Duda. So the Rays are finished in the 5th. They pick up a run on a home run by Kurt Casale. His first of the year for the Rays, and at the end of 5, it's 1-0 Tampa Bay.
Tell you what, Blake Snell has been awesome here this afternoon, attacking the strike zone, power fastball. The curveball has been very good, occasional slider, but I'll tell you something, he has been sharp, he's been filling up the zone, and he has faced just one over the minimum through 5 innings. He's given them just 1 hit to go along with already 10 strikeouts. He struck out 2 guys in every inning that he's pitched, and I'll tell you something, he has been absolutely fun to watch. We wanted to see him get another start, go into the offseason on a high note. He may be going into the offseason on the highest of notes.
Well, it seems as if every at-bat starts strike one. And this one just misses 1-0. He had 12 of the first 16 batters strike one. And at one point was 11 of 14.
That just shows you. I mean, that just shows you. His first pitch strike percentage was below 53% coming in. And that's one of the lowest you'll see in the game, especially as a starter, too. Well, actually, anybody that runs out there, you want to be better than that.
Line drive right down to third, caught by Evan.
But it shows you what he's capable of. You get ahead. These guys know he's got good stuff, and he's got very good secondary pitches. He's got 3 very good secondary pitches. So now all of a sudden you put them on the defensive. You get them to 2 strikes, and now they're just looking to protect. And you can go, like I said, you can go with curveball. You can go with another fastball. You can throw a slider to the back foot. You can change up. I mean, he's got options.
And there's a first pitch strike to Joey Rickard.
First pitch changeup, just to show that he can.
So he's now 13 of 18, and he's wondering if maybe Rickard did offer at that pitch. Wave and a miss. Rickard hitting .244 coming into this game. Two. He was a Rule 5 guy taken by the Orioles out of the Rays system. And we have seen Anthony Santander, pretty impressive looking Rule 5 guy in the first 2 games of this series, taken by Baltimore out of the Cleveland system. There's strike 3 called. 11 strikeouts for Snell. 1 out, now 2 outs into the 6th.
Boy, caught him with a 96-mile-an-hour fastball, and obviously Rickard looking for something else. And he gets rung up on that heater, and Blake Snell just continues to pile on with the punchies.
Austin Hayes. After the first pitch.
How about that? We've seen the first pitch changeup to Rickard, first pitch slider right there to Hayes, and that had nasty late break.
It's 1-1 now. Base is empty. 1-0 game.
How about that lid that Sergio's working with? Yeah. See, I love hair now.
Plenty of it there.
Yeah.
And there.
Yep. Kentucky waterfall coming at you.
2-2.
Got the double piercings too, or at least one. Yeah, just one. Double hoops. I did that once.
You did?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
It used to be my first move getting to the ballpark, was taking out the hoop earrings. Until Matt Williams was like, really?
Ground ball to short. Bobbled, recovered, and Robertson makes the play to get Hayes. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Thank goodness for Matt Williams. Today's Geico great moment. August 6th, Steven Suzy Jr. connecting on his first career walk-off hit. Solo home run in the bottom of the ninth, giving the Rays a 2-1 victory over Milwaukee. The Rays' first walk-off home run since May 22nd of 2014. Today the Rays hold a 1-0 lead moving into the bottom of the 6th inning. Longoria, Morrison, and then Suzy Jr. to bat against Kevin Gausman. Pitch is a strike to Longoria. Evan with a base hit his first time up. Grounded to second the last time. Now 1-1. One and two. Morrison on deck. And a cut and a miss. That fastball with something extra on it up at 96. Country hardball right there with that fastball. The upper part of the zone. Six strikeouts for Gausman. Blake Snell has 11 for the Rays today. Logan Morrison will take the pitch for ball one.
Back at it. A little timeout to talk to Hickey. See when he may be coming into this ball game, and then right back to work.
Hey, you gonna put me in, or I have to go back to my other job?
I wonder if he'll get tipped out.
Doing the work.
Baby stepping.
One ball, two strikes. Split.
He's been good this afternoon too. Just that one mistake to Casale. Bad count, mislocation, and sometimes that's all it'll take.
And he has Morrison reaching and out on strikes for the second time. 2 up, 2 down. Eldorado Furniture, thanking you for settling in with us this year. See everyone in 2018 for another season of Rays baseball.
I'll tell you what, that guy that just had on the foam finger, that I love it's the foam finger 2.0. It's the new version, and it's legit. It's not that, you know, waffy one.
Pitch is a strike to Suzy Jr. up.
And he may have put it down. That's the new version. Yeah, get it up there. Yeah, see?
Oh, that's the whole solid.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's serious there.
You want to make a point. You want to go high left on somebody.
Yeah, you can certainly make your point with that.
Yeah. Yeah, right there. I love that.
Yeah, that's point and counterpoint all rolled into one.
Well, he's been aggressive with it, you know, with the way Blake Snell's throwing the ball.
And there's strike 3 call to Suzy Jr. And a 3 up, 3 down. Gausman strikes out the side. We go to the 7th, 1-0 Rays. 6. He has given up 1 hit. 11 strikeouts. Stay tuned in the 7th inning for the Jeep Compass game break. Rich Orestes and Doug will have highlights from around Major League Baseball. Out of the scope, takes a big cut and misses to begin the 7th inning. Twice today, Snell has struck him out. It's a liner foul into the seats.
Look out.
0-2. Both strikeouts swinging by Scope. And a broken bat ground ball. Morrison will flip it down to Snell. Thought about running it in and saw Snell headed over there and decided that was the percentage move.
Yeah, I think Logan Morrison, a nice job by both guys. First of all, Blake Snell getting over there, but Logan Morrison understanding that Blake falls off towards third base, is covering for him right here. And then says, you know what, he is going to beat me there, so let me give him a nice little flip and lead him right to the bag. Well played. He's done a nice job over there at first base for the Rays. Talk an awful lot about the home runs that he's hit this year, but he's played a nice first base too.
Machado, pitch to him is a first pitch strike. (16 out of 21 hitters). A first pitch strike for Snell. You talk about pounding the strike zone. Wow.
You know, and when he has fallen behind, he hasn't, again, let those counts get out of hand. He hasn't gone 2-0, 3-0. He's gotten right back into them.
He's out in front of Machado.
This is where he becomes so dangerous, especially today. With all the off-speed pitches working, Machado's got to account for fastball, curveball, and slider.
A little bit of that one, fighting off the fastball. Two, Kurt Casale, the battery mate for Blake Snell, and he has provided the only run of the game. Casale hitting the home run in the 5th inning in this 1-0 contest.
That keeps adding to the Rays catcher's home run total.
The foul ball. 2-2.
I think that was a franchise record, right?
I think
most
it
home
is.
runs.
What do they have now? 20? Is it 28 now?
My highlighter never made it to the Rays notes, so I apologize for that.
Did he go? Oh, he held up on the appeal down to Mike Everett. The Rays thought they had him. Did he hold? That's pretty close.
Yeah, that really goes either way. Could go either way. Machado benefits.
(3-2). That takes care of him. Struck him out. That pitch down and in. That's 12 strikeouts for Blake Snell. That equals the most for any Rays pitcher this year. Chris Archer had 12 strikeouts against New York back on the 21st of May. 2 gone, and here's Mancini, and he takes a first pitch strike. Again, another first pitch strike.
And this time with the changeup. He really has had all 4 pitches working. I think you'd probably rate him fastball #1 because that's what he's been filling the zone up with. Curveball 2, changeup 3, then slider. I mean, it'd be a tough pick because they've all been pretty good.
And there's a swing and a miss, and that ball winds up out of play. So Mancini is out on strikes, but he reaches. It's the 13th strikeout for Blake Snell. So it's a strikeout on a wild pitch.
It just gives him an opportunity to just keep adding to that total.
Mark Trumbo steps in. Ground ball right side, and that ball gloved. Plouffe will make the throw to first, but it's not going to be in time. Plouffe was in shallow right field to make that attempt, and Trumbo has a base hit.
Well, that was a great effort by Trevor Plouffe on a ball that looked destined to get into right field out to Souza Jr. See where he's playing up the middle, and he ranges far to his left, and then the old slide throw. That's all you can do, and just was too far away. Guys make that move look so easy.
Well, 2 men on now with 2 men out. Mancini was at second when he singled in the 5th to lead off and was wild pitch to second. Now Mancini struck out but was wild pitch to first. Moved to second on Trumbo's hit. And here is Chris Davis. 2 on, 2 out. And the pitch is down to Davis. Boxberger now up in the bullpen. Snell approaching 100 pitches, 98 right now. And it is 1-1 on Davis. You got Scope and Machado, and then Mancini struck out but reached on the wild pitch. Trumbo followed with the base hit. The ground ball right side. This time Plouffe right there for it to take care of Davis out of the shift. No runs, a hit. 2 men left on base. 7th inning stretch time here at Tropicana Field with the Rays holding a 1-0 lead. And during 7th inning stretch, God Bless America will be sung by Congressman Ross Spano.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with a light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the ocean, wide with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
All-new 2017 Jeep Compass. Right now, well-qualified lessees of competitive vehicles get a low-mileage lease on the 2017 Jeep Compass for $119 a month.
Well, all the fellas out there seem to have a rematch in order in the World Series.
They're
thinking.
Yeah. Now, did you notice that Arestas there had the knuckleball? He had Julio.
Yeah.
It looked like he left Julio out in the sun.
Yep.
Julio's got a tan. And he's trying to rip that jacket. Don't rip that sweet jacket.
Here's Plouffe.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, changing it up a little bit with the knuckler and their presentation there in that break.
Yeah. I just thought that, well, like I said, Julio, it's a big part of what, he's got him. He's got him on every show.
The backhand off the chop from Machado. Machado's throwing time to get Plouffe.
Did it seem to you, though, I mean, I know the boys were jacked up for this, the three-man booth, the final day of the season, but they kind of had them bunched up today.
Well, here's the thing.
Johnny O.
You work together. They've obviously become close.
They did.
Yeah.
They did. Johnny O had him mashed in there pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at him.
Now,
see, there you go.
That's spread out here.
Yep. That's
right.
O's taking charge. Yes, and you're right. That's the way it should be. But anyway, getting back to the baseball end of things, yeah, that's
that
interesting.
Wouldn't surprise me at all.
No.
Have a matchup again.
Nope.
The Indians and the Cubs.
Wouldn't be a bad thing either.
No. I don't know what the Indians are going to do without Rajai Davis, though.
Well, they did just activate Michael Brantley, so you do get that stick back.
Gotcha.
But I'll tell you what, that's the one team you start to try to find a weakness, and you look at well-rounded, and they are as well-rounded as anybody in the game. And I think really the most well-rounded team out there right now, and that's why they are the prohibitive favorites coming out of the American League.
I think they absolutely will be. As Casale skies to left, 2 gone here in the bottom of the 7th.
I think the National League, and guess what? Just because they're the favorites to come out obviously doesn't mean that they will. But when you look at the National League and you think, okay, Nationals, Cubs, like Hannibal Wechter was saying out there, that's going to be a great series. But then, the Arizona Diamondbacks, the Rockies, and the winner of that game is going to play the Dodgers. They're all from the same division. And the Diamondbacks have actually won the season series over the Dodgers this year, 11-8. So they are able to beat the Rockies. They're not going to be afraid. And actually, the Rockies won't either. They're plenty familiar with that Dodger team. So it's going to be a fascinating ride.
Yeah, and what a year the Dodgers have had. They seem to be unbeatable, and then they went into that slide. People were thinking, well, they're so far ahead, they're not even playing meaningful games. They're probably just coasting through it. They need to play some games, with something riding on it. Well, then they started losing all the time. It's been an interesting year for them.
Well, and then it became meaningful games during that slide. Like, you better get out of this thing.
Yeah, Malik Smith out on strikes. 3 up, 3 down. We're headed into the 8th. Rays lead 1-0. Baseball on Fox Sports Sun is brought to you by your Southern Chevy dealers and by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Blake Snell is going to leave this game, and boy, a little conversation with his pitching coach Jim Hickey and manager Kevin Cash. 100 pitches, and I don't know how you can be much better than Blake Snell was today. 24 hitters he faced. He threw 18 first pitch strikes and 13 strikeouts. That's his high, and a single game high for Rays pitchers this year. 13 strikeouts. As he turns it over now to Brad Boxberger.
Well, Brad comes on for the 30th time, and ERA 3.49, 28 in the third innings. Has been able to accumulate 38 strikeouts. Been good in that aspect. Try to close this thing out for Blake. Yeah, boy, he was impressive. I mean, just as aggressive as these hitters can be, you know, in a game like this. He put him on the defensive right away. I mean, they came out there and tried to come after him, but he was just filling up that zone with high quality stuff. Whatever you did last night coming into this ball game to prepare, whatever you slept in or not, whatever.
Yep.
That's your routine.
Well,
you bottle that right up for the foreseeable future.
12 of his first 14 pitches were strikes. He struck out 3 of the first 4 men he faced and just built from there.
Yep.
The foul ball back, and that's going to be out of play.
That guy hasn't been too bad himself, Kevin Gossman.
He's coming off a 9-pitch inning in the bottom of the 7th. And now Hardy waves and misses. 14 strikeouts for Rays pitching in this game. We'll join the Rays in supporting those affected by Hurricanes Irma and Maria. When our neighbors are in need, all of us can step up to make a difference. Donate at ucaring.com/Rays Hurricane Relief. Caleb Joseph, pitch is down to him, 1-0. Bullpen ball loose now from the Baltimore bullpen, retrieved there by Longoria. So Snell with 13 strikeouts, now 1 for Boxberger. 15 strikeouts, the club high in a single game. Shared by Archer and Shields. 2-1 on Caleb Joseph. Archer earlier had that strikeout game of 12 against New York in May, and now 13 for Snell here in this game against Baltimore.
That changeup by Brad Boxberger, he's another guy. Such a discrepancy between the velocities of the fastball and the changeup, Bugs Bunny style. That puts pressure and stress on a hitter.
Swing and a miss, and Joseph chases that pitch up. So Rays continue to pile up the strikeouts. It's 15 for Rays pitching.
Boy, right after that changeup to follow it up with that pitch at the letters. Caleb Joseph not at all happy, but I'll tell you, those are just 2 great back-to-back pitches by Boxberger.
Hey, speaking of Bugs Bunny, how about Andrew Romine playing every position in that game?
Did he?
Yep. Brad
Yeah.
Ausmus closing out his run there in Detroit.
So Detroit
and Romine played every position. Bugs Bunny at first, Bugs Bunny at second, Bugs Bunny catching.
And here I thought that they would probably end their season within the division, but instead they wrap it up playing the Gas House Gorillas.
Apparently.
Oh.
Boy, Rickard 2-0. It's a high fly ball into center. Malik Smith circling and now makes the catch. Interesting route. Had to come back to catch the pass. 3 up, 3 down. 1-0 Rays.
Fox Sports Sun and Tampa Bay leads Baltimore 1-0. Well, what a season it has been for pitcher Alex Colomé. The closer has up to 47 saves this season. That's 6 more than any other pitcher in the majors. He's the first Rays pitcher in team history to lead the majors. Talking to Alex Colomé earlier today, he says he's extremely grateful and humbled by his season. Dwayne?
All right, thank you very much, Alex. You're right, a great year for Alex Colomé, and it's been great having you with us on our crew this year. Great addition, and for all of us on our crew here, behind the cameras and in front of it, we'd like to say thank you to all our viewers for being with us. It's always fun when we know you're out there and in your own way interacting and following Rays baseball. We certainly appreciate that.
Well, boy, do we ever. I'll tell you, it makes it fun. Makes it fun. The crew that we get to work with, Dwayne.
True professionals.
Yeah. As much as we like to poke the bear a little bit.
Yeah.
They're a blast.
Yes, they are indeed. Brad Brock's in here pitching to Daniel Robertson. Yeah,
and they make it look real easy, and it's anything but. But that's, you know what, that's true of just about anything.
1 ball, 1 strike.
Oh yeah,
it's a strong crew too.
Yeah, it is. Guns, double guns out in center.
1-1 to count. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Brad Brock in relief of Gossman. It's fouled out of play by Robertson. Dickerson and Duda do next.
Have you ever tried to work one of those cameras, D-Wayne?
They won't let me near them.
That's okay. Well, then I know not to ask.
Swing and a miss. Robertson is out of there. Well, here's the this was our secret weapon, Silent Joe.
Where's this cat?
Yeah, it's got to be there somewhere.
Yeah. Silent Joe.
Yeah, it's got the unicorn and the cat.
I had a conversation with Silent Joe this year.
You coaxed some verbiage from him.
I did. Oh, this is close to us. Look at that.
Dickerson going the other way, and that's his 3rd hit. Base hit into left.
Yeah, I actually had a conversation with Silent Joe, if you can believe that. I felt really good that day too.
Now that's an accomplishment.
Yeah, that's how I felt. I felt like I really had done something that day. Little roamer.
Peter Borges is going to run for Dickerson after the base hit by Corey Dickerson here in the 8th inning. 1 on, 1 out. Lucas Duda will step in. He's 0 for 3. And over to first. Borges back in. And yeah, Jimmy Cogs for a long time. Jimmy Coglianese was our high home camera guy and retired. And boy, we miss him.
We do miss him.
He had such great experience and great expertise. A great guy and a wonderful personality, and very handsome as well. And we miss all of those qualities.
Yeah. See, I didn't know that was official. And that does stink.
Yeah. He has a lot more time to get into trouble. That's my concern.
What?
You know, we kept him busy here.
Yeah, well, and you know what? You know what he did
Occupied.
for me? You know what he did for me this year, which was fantastic, is he made he hung what do you call it? Paper towels.
Yep.
He hung a roll of paper towels up in the booth when the lights come on and I get all riled up about some topic in the pregame and all of a sudden start to sweat on the bald head. There were the paper towels to clean it up. Didn't have to look for napkins anymore. Jimmy Cogs hung that up there for me.
Always went the extra mile.
Yeah. That worked out very, very well.
Yep. So we'll hook up with him in the off season and make him pick up a check.
Yeah, and I know where too. The burger joint.
Yeah, there you go. Hey, there's a little base hit off the bat of Duda. Borges is going to go to 3rd. Throw will come through, but not in time. So Duda singles, and the Rays have men at 1st and 3rd in the 8th with 1 out to get Evan Longoria to the plate.
Well, that's exactly what you want, is a little bit of insurance. You know, the big blast by Casale, very, very good, of course, but you'd like to give yourself some cushion. Not a bad pitch at all by Brad Brock. How about Lucas Duda, who's right up on the plate, able to reach that pitch and get it out into right field.
So Longoria today has singled, grounded out, and struck out. The chance to add to this 1-0 lead in the bottom of the 8th. Takes a pitch low and away. A ball, no strikes.
I'm being so careful right here with Longoria and trying to get him to chase, try to reach for something, get that ball off the barrel of the bat.
He takes a cut. Ball staying up.
Changed up on him.
Now 2-1. Close but wide off the plate. 3 balls and a strike. That's a liner up the right side, going to be in there. Back toward the corner, gets by Rickard. Borges has scored. Duda's going to go to third. Longoria winds up at second. And that makes it a 2-run ball game now. Another run batted in for Longoria on the year is 86th.
Well, that's what I'm talking about, Dwayne. You put together a nice at-bat. He didn't chase early against Brock. Finally got a pitch out over, and you get a little bit more cushion as you're pushing for a win.
Number 7, first baseman, Logan Morrison.
36th double for Longoria. Now Duda will be lifted. Cesar Puello is going to run for Duda. 2 men in scoring position with 1 out and a run in. Liner into center. That will fall for a base hit. Puello scores. Longoria advances to third. And Morrison drives in a run. 3-0.
Well, and I'll tell you something else, too. For Brad Brock, got to be extremely frustrating way to end the season. He's out there. He's getting hit around a little bit right now. And as of, well, now you start to see some stirring in the pen, but it's quiet down there. So he's going to have at least the next hitter or two. Logan Morrison wastes no time. Shoot the middle of the field. Well, here's the thing, too. I think Evan Longoria had surpassed Morrison for the RBI lead.
Yeah, he came in with 1 more.
Right, he gets another. Yeah. And now Logan tried to answer.
Logan's still 1 behind him.
Yeah, and Evan, being the pro that he is, he pulled up at third on him. Said, no, I'm not going to be that tying run. So you're going to have to go into the offseason with the home run title.
Well, you control what you can control.
That's exactly. Logan, and you know baseball. Logan's going to wear him out.
Oh, there's no question.
Like, you had a 1-run lead. You took a 2-run lead on me.
You can't get a jump off second?
Yeah. Yeah, old man at 32. He's going to wear him out, I'm telling you.
Steven Souza Jr. now, men on the corners. Going away. Well, the Rays had a 1-0 lead on the 5th inning home run by Kurt Casale, and now 4 consecutive hits and 2 runs home in the 8th to make it 3-0 suddenly. With these hits, the Rays have 10 hits on the day.
Well, that was quiet, too. Spread out early.
Two balls, no strikes. Strike out there on the corner. 2-1. Squares it. Runs, 10 hits for the Rays, no runs, 2 hits for Baltimore. And the count is full. Brock struck out Robertson, ran into trouble on the base hit by Dickerson. Borges ran for him. Duda got a base hit. Longoria doubled in a run. Morrison with a base hit to drive in another run. Souza takes the walk. And the bases are loaded. Well, the Rays have had 10 hits. That's the first walk by Baltimore pitching. Bases loaded for Trevor Plouffe.
Well, knowing Buck, he wants Brad Brock to end by retiring somebody, getting it out here. So he's going to give him another hitter. It has been a tough way to end the season. The Rays jumped him pretty good here, and still bases loaded, just one out. Could add on even more.
Fouls it back. Blue 0 for 3 today. He got the start against Gossman. He'd had some pretty good numbers against Gossman coming into this game and was held hitless in 3 at-bats. High pop. That's a foul ball. Will carry out a play. 0-2. That's low and outside. Blocked by the catcher Caleb Joseph. Have taken the first 2 games of the series, 7-0 and 4-3. Now lead 3-0 in the bottom of the 8th of this one. It's fouled right back into the upper deck. Move against Brad Brock. Low and outside. Joseph scooting to his right to block that one. He got behind. Now it's 2-2. The count is full.
Well, this is his outing right here. Got to make a pitch. Trevor Plouffe. Got to be looking for something right out over the plate, something to drive, something to add on.
Ball 4. That forces Longoria home. Rays pick up another run. Now 4-0, and Buck Showalter comes out to get Brock. Ball to the bullpen, brought to you by the Florida Lottery. Fantasy 5, our all-new Fast Play ticket in the Florida Lottery Game Day Cash Promotion. You could win a 2018 Lazy Days RV motorhome, over $200,000 in cash prizes, bowl tickets, season tickets, and more. Must be 18 or older to play. Play responsibly. Mike Wright will be the new pitcher. Bases loaded with one out. Kurt Casale is at the plate. The pitch is outside, 1-0. So 3 runs charged to Brock. He leaves with 3 men on base. The strike, it's 1-1.
Man, tough way to end the season, that's for sure. He's been so good coming out of that bullpen for Buck Showalter all season long.
Foul ball. It was Casale's home run in the 5th inning that broke a scoreless tie, giving the Rays the lead. They led 1-0 until the 8th, when they've added 3 more. There's the home run. He got ahead 3-1, and no doubt about that when he connected. It's 2-2. There, and the count is full on Casale.
Sergio getting involved in the wave.
He's everywhere. 3-2, and that is ball 4. And will force home another run. Wright gives up a walk. That run is charged to Brock, who has given up 4 runs in a third of an inning. And you talk about what a way to end the season. These runs are all charged to him right now.
Boy, how about 3 straight walks? You know, this inning kind of a microcosm of the Orioles season. You know, with Gausman out on the mound, off to such a great start, and then have really tanked at the end.
And Smith sends a fly ball to center. Souza Jr. is going to tag. He'll head to the plate. The Rays get another run on the sacrifice fly by Malik Smith. So Smith picks up a run batted in. The Rays have put up 5 in the inning. It's now 6-0. Is down to Robertson, 1-0. How about this for a season ender? Brock's ERA coming into this was 2.53. Right now it's 3.17.
Oh. Yeah, that'll give you a headache. You got to be kidding me.
All these runs charged to him. 2-0 the count. Oh, he had a nice year 66 games with a 2.53 and 18 saves, and right now that ERA is at 3.17, and another man on accountable to him. Wright misses again, 3-0. The Rays have sent 10 men to the plate. And ball 4, another man reaches. So that reloads the bases. 2 walks and a sacrifice fly given up by Wright. I don't mean to make matters worse, but if you round that off, the ERA goes to 3.18. And another call to get the bullpen up. Peter Borges, who entered as a pinch runner after Dickerson singled, will now get an at bat in this inning. Which is a strike to Borges. Yanoa's up in the bullpen now. Gabriel Yanoa, the Rays saw him in Baltimore in a starting role. Tap down to third, foul. Runs the count to 1-2.
We sure? I'd review that. You can. You can.
Yeah. Well, you do feel for Brock.
Yeah, I mean that's a rough way to go. You work all year long, 161 games, and build a 2.53 coming out of the pen and do great work and have that all go away in 20 minutes.
Here's Rickard coming on to make the catch. The Rays send 11 men to the plate. They score 5 and will carry a 6-0 lead into the 9th. Rays baseball on Fox Sports Sun, brought to you by your Gulf Coast Honda dealers. We go to the 9th. The Rays now hold this lead of 6-0. Chaz Rowe goes to the hill, making his 12th appearance combined between Atlanta and the Rays. Peter Borges stays on to play left. Leading off, Austin Hayes, top of the Baltimore lineup, and the pitch is a ball. Here's Borges in left. Two and 0. Snell worked 7. 13 strikeouts of 2-hit baseball for Blake Snell. Boxberger worked 1 inning, 2 strikeouts, and now it's Rowe. And he picks up a strike there, 2-1.
I thought you were going to say a gift. That ball looked like it ran in off the plate. But instead of being 3-0, it is 2-1.
And now a strike. 2-2.
Yep. And by the way, 2-2 with no swings.
We told you that Reckman not going to call the strike down, but he might widen it a little bit. Hayes out on strikes. Hayes had no choice. 1 away. Rays Live, the postgame presented by W.B. Mason. We'll have Rich, Orestes, and Doug reviewing the season. Here from Kevin Cash, and Alex Cordray makes another appearance with sound from the clubhouse. Jonathan Scope. Pitch is wide, 1-0. Two balls, no strikes. Now 3-0 to Scope. Race pitching with the strikeout of Hayes, 16 strikeouts and no walks. 3-0 the count to Scope, however. And he's taking a strike, 3-1. Foul ball. And the count is full. Bruce Dreckman dusting off the plate with his shoe.
Well, it's been tough to find here the last inning or so. Guys, it's right here.
3-2. And a cut and a miss. Scope out on strikes for the third time.
You know, that's the one pitch that we've seen from Chaz Rowe that jumps out at you. He's got good velocity, good life. That slider can take a left-hand turn. I mean, look at that thing.
Here's Manny Machado, and a ground ball up the middle, stopped by Plouffe, throw to first, not going to be in time. Well, he did everything he could do trying to end this one on that ball up the middle. And that's hit number 3 for Baltimore.
Well, he went onto the shortstop side of the bag. Trevor Plouffe. Yeah, I mean, just like that play out in right field, basically. That ground ball that he made another nice play on, did everything that he could, great effort, just was too far away.
Trey Mancini. And there's a cut and a miss, strike 1. And a strike on the outside corner. 0-2. Fans cheering for that final out. Rays lead 6-0. Mancini's out on strikes, and that'll do it. Rowe gets 3 strikeouts. The Rays strike out 18 Baltimore hitters, and the Rays win this game 6-0 to wrap up the 2017 season. 6-10-0, 7 left for the Rays, 0-3-0. 4 men left for Baltimore. Snell the winner, 5-7. Gaussman the loser, 11-2. 16,018 in attendance, and the Rays close out the season by winning 4 in a row, and they'll finish the year at 80-82.
It's been a pleasure, partner.
As always, a pleasure.
Another year.
Another year in the books.
Nice way for this team to finish it, too.
Yeah, they finished on the upswing here, sweeping this series from Baltimore and winning 4 straight. For Brian Anderson and Alex Carter and our entire crew, Dwayne Stats, hope you've enjoyed the telecast this year. It's been fun being a part of it. WB Mason, the post game, comes your way next. So long until next spring.